Hi, it's MSPTA Angelina back with another lesson guide. So this is lesson 3 of the biotechnology unit. It's called X-ray imaging. So in this lesson, students are going to learn about how X-rays are used to image bones by using ultraviolet sensitive photographic paper to image a model of the human hand. So X-ray imaging relies on the fact that bones are more dense or thicker than other tissue, and so they block X-rays and leave a shadow, which doctors can use for diagnosis. So the materials for this lesson are pretty simple. We have sunprint UV sensitive photographic paper in quote unquote X-ray film. We have the sun, which is our quote unquote X-ray source, model skeleton of the hand. We have aluminum pan with water for developing the paper, we have cutaway photo of the hand, transparent tape, and these other accessories, which we really didn't use at all. And I don't even think they were supplied, so I wouldn't worry about these too much. So the start of this lesson is really to explain how X-ray imaging works, and it's kind of similar to how our ultrasound lesson went. Basically, you send X-rays to something, they bounce back, or excuse me, they don't bounce back, they leave shadows because bones are dense, so they don't go through necessarily. And that's how you can see them via X-ray imaging, because the X-rays do go through our skin and flesh, but not through the bones, they leave shadows. So we want to demonstrate this to our students with UV paper. So we're not going to use actual X-ray film, but we do have some photosensitive paper, and we're going to use this in the sun. So how this paper works is keep it in the dark until you're ready, and then we have these little tiny bones here. They're plastic. You put the paper out in the sun, put the bones on top, and then after some time, you'll see a shadow because the paper is photosensitive. Okay. Then we bring the papers back into the classroom, and then we're going to develop them in some water so you see these great images. It's pretty cool. And it's very simple. However, my students were more interested in developing images of the actual example X-rays that we got. So one of your other supplies is actual X-ray images. Most of these are broken bones. So they really liked these, and they didn't want to use the plastic one. So what you can do is use the plastic part of the X-ray images you get. So there's a plastic part that has the actual image, and then there's a paper piece so you can see it a little clearer. So you take the paper piece off, and then you just put the plastic parts on top of your photosensitive paper, and you take them outside. You let them sit for a little bit, and then you bring them back in. While you're letting them sit outside, you can just kind of talk to your students about how, X-rays work, and then how UV works, or, you can just talk about broken bones and maybe if any of them have ever had any broken bones or if they've gotten an X-ray. Once they're done outside, it takes about like 5-10 minutes, but once they're done, you bring them in, you put them in a not warm but not cold, just a regular temperature water bath for a couple minutes until they develop. And at this time, you take the plastic X-ray images out. And if you use the plastic little bones, you take those out too, and you just develop the image. So my students, I don't have a picture of the actual developed image, unfortunately, but they did turn out super duper, and I let the class keep them. They were going to present them at their Beam Science Night, but they didn't get a chance to. So yeah, this lesson's really simple in terms of setup and execution. Not really much prep to be done. However, you do want to prepare an actual lecture, perhaps. I didn't use PowerPoint or Google Slides for this one. I just lectured by drawing. But X-ray is pretty complicated for a second grader to understand. So I think the best way to teach this is to draw maybe an example of a body with bones inside that you can see. And then you maybe want to use arrows to point towards the bone and then see that the arrows can't pass through the bone, but they do pass through the flesh. That would be a good way to demonstrate how X-ray imaging works. And yeah, that's all I have for this lesson.